not saying that there should be a lot more. Fair to have a few. And the George Bush accent is not meant to imply that the foreign policy has changed under Obama, as the Secretary of Defense hasn't changed. But and you don't elect the heads of corporations, and you don't elect the heads of the CIA. You usually don't even elect the president or anyone else, as Wisconsin just proved with their Supreme Court election. So I wouldn't be able to vote my conscience if I was voting for the head of the CIA. Anyway. Well, I'm the meanest man, I got a five-sided brain. Most folks around me think I'm insane, but it doesn't faze me, not one bit. You say I'm crazy, I don't give a shit, I'm mean. Yeah. I'm mean to my mother, I'm mean to my brother. I'm especially mean to my mother, though. I'm mean to anyone I think of as an other. And if you don't want to play nice with me, I'll bring democracy to your stupid country. I'm mean. Amazing that the U.S. calls people like Evo Morales dictators when he got 86% of the vote, and they still referred to Mubarak as President Mubarak, even at the end. Gotta love that shit. Well, I'm mean in the East, I'm mean in the West. Free market meanness is what I like best. I go around putting lots of folks in debt, and then I screw them over with the interest the econ people call those structural adjustment programs. Neoliberal reform, budget repair. I just call it mean. You know what they call it when a U.S. corporation goes into a country, takes half their money out of their economy as some sort of loan because they've pushed through groups like the World Trade Organization for a liberalization of the economic sector, the freeing of the financial market. They go and they reinvest it somewhere else and they tank the entire economy and put a lot of people out of work like they did in Argentina, like they did in Thailand. We call that, there's a word for that. Like if you steal over $300 from a store, that's called grand theft. When you do that to an entire country in Southeast Asia or South America or Africa, they call that speculation. Those are the people who run our country. Speculation. Just remember that next time you get locked up. Where was I? Oh yeah, go around overthrowing governments with the army or economics for fruit and gold and gasoline. I've funded many a mean machine, folks like Suharto, Augusto Pinochet, Manuel Noriega, No Diem, Saddam Hussein, Marcos, Galtieri, the Contras, the Chavarin, Musharraf, Duvalier, Mubarak, Karzai, Maliki, and many others. True story. And Osama, can't forget about our ally of 20 years. For a dead dude, he sure puts out a lot of videos. Possibly more than Tupac. I believe that both of them are dead.
I love Tupac, brother.
I do too. But I think that they're competing for amounts of post-mortem videos. Well, I profit from wars, I profit from jails, I profit from disease, I profit from sales, I profit from things you think would sadden me. I even found a way to profit off of tragedies, things like tsunamis, earthquakes, hurricanes, refugee crises, anthrax outbreaks, bird flu, pit bulls. Other things you're supposed to be afraid of. And Osama, just a reminder. I got a lot of other folks that roll with me, the coalition of the willing, you know? Like, El Salvador, I think they sent like 10 soldiers to Iraq. Yeah, the coalition of the willing. Whereas I got a lot of other folks that roll with me, like the Saudis and South Korea, Israel, Australia, and Pakistan, and my little lapdog England, and sometimes Haiti too, depending on how recently I've kidnapped their president. So we kind of wrote this song after, regardless of how you feel about Hugo Chavez's policies, because I'd probably be really pissed at the dude if I lived in Venezuela, but his sense of humor is absolutely necessary on the international political scene. And somebody with the opposite policies of Bush, but with a similar arrogance. That's what Bush needed to hear. You know, he didn't need to hear a some reasonable speech. He needed to hear somebody else calling him names. So, Hugo Chavez doesn't roll with me. He doesn't like my type of hegemony. He called me a donkey on live TV. He's got a good point. I'm an asshole. And I said, listen here, Mr. Communist, I dare you to come to the next UN conference because I'll blow up your helicopter and poison your cigar. And Chavez is like, I don't smoke cigars. I don't give a shit. I don't like the UN anyways. Bunch of communists in there. I mean, you know about the French and that commie-ass statue they built in New York Harbor. Remember when all those proto-teabaggers were breaking French wine bottles because France wouldn't go and liberate the people of Iraq with us? Freedom fries. Oh yeah, some folks don't like what I do. I call them all Islamo-fascists too. And folks question me, it really gets me going. Islamo-fascists, of course, unless they are our allies strategically somewhere. Folks question me, it really gets me going. You see, I'm just trying to keep this oil flowing, get rid of trade barriers. Keep people working good, long, hard, proud, black lung and arthritis-producing American hours. You know, hurt people, hurt animals, break families up. Take AIDS medications out of the hands of poor people, establish sweatshops across the global south, and many other things.